Specs are manky. Can I see a bastard and think? Just like the referees in this country.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. It's time for a wee Monday catch-up. Yeah, I had the weekend a bit... It was busier than I thought it would be, so I'm back. It's time to catch up on everything that we've missed in that time. You know, some big stories, and a win, of course. We're through to the next round of the Scottish Cup, so we're going to try and talk about everything that we've missed in today's wee catch-up. So bear with me, because we've got a lot to chat about. If you haven't already, please make sure to hit like and subscribe. It would be much appreciated. I'm actually incredibly tired today. I'm feeling drained, exhausted from the weekend shenanigans. The 5:30 Saturday kickoff. It's no kind, is it? It's yeah. And obviously last night the Super Bowl was on. So if you were like me, you would have stayed up to watch it and then probably have to get yourself up for work or uni or whatever. That's exactly what happened. I've had about 5 hours sleep, so that's great. I'm feeling top of the world, you could say. No, I'm joking. I'm not very Carol Carpenter today. I'm feeling a little bit doom and gloom, but we're going to try and get through this anyway. We're going to try and talk about everything that we've missed over the course of the weekend. Now, the last time that I came to here on the channel was Friday night, or Friday afternoon, I should say. I done a live stream to preview the St Mirren game and just chat to you guys as I normally do, the weekly sort of Q&A streams where we just have a wee gab with each other. And as soon as I went off the air and when night fell, everything seemed to happen. We had financial reports, we had team news for what could have been against St Mirren, and we had Giakoumakis with his introductory press conference as an Atlanta United player in which he riled up half the Celtic support. So I actually missed everything by about 2 hours when I went live. If I just held it off till a little bit later, because I've had a right good gap, but I'm going to try and cover most things today. And I feel like we should probably just start with recapping the game at the weekend. I'm not going to go on and do a full-on match review, because what would be the point in that now that we're 2 days on? But I'm going to try and give my brief thoughts and talk about us moving into the next round of the Scottish Cup. St Mirren actually played really well on Saturday, I thought. Compared to what we usually see from teams that come to Parkhead, they weren't as defensive as what teams normally are. They had a go at it, and do you know what? On another day, they could probably have kept it a much closer game, I think, at Celtic Park. They weren't bad at all, but it just speaks volumes about how good we are. We are unbelievably good. The way that we managed to dispose of them so easily at the weekend was... It's frightening, to say the least. It actually got some reaction from a few St Mirren supporters who are fed up of Celtic winning and say that we should be bored of winning. I, for one, am not bored of winning. I think I'll try and find the tweet and put it on screen if I can, but it was just people along the lines of suggesting, does it not get boring for us just turning teams over every week and winning every single game? No. And I have never understood that theory whatsoever, or that state of mind. Why would it ever get boring winning? I am a football fan and a sports fan to win. I want to see my team win. And I'm not a glory hunter. I mean, people might say whatever they like about folk that support Celtic. They're my local team, my family's team. They always have been the local team for my family. So I was born into Celtic. I'll die supporting Celtic, just like the vast majority is who support Celtic. But the jealousy some folk really have for us and our winning ways borders on hilarity sometimes, you know. And I don't mind that I would be jealous. If I was a St Mirren fan, a St Johnstone fan, a Motherwell fan, and I was watching Celtic win every single game that they play, yeah, I'd probably get a little bit jealous and envious of it. I'd like to experience that. But to say it gets boring for a Celtic fan, absolutely bloody not. I love it, and if it was up to me, I'd have us winning all 4 competitions we enter in, year out, because I like to win. Why would winning ever be boring? It was good to see, you know, the likes of David Turnbull get a start in the game. You know, he's played well recently. He's probably deserved it, so he was into the team. It was good to see the rotation later on in the game as well. Haxa, O and such getting on and contributing as well. Obviously, O finding his first goal for Celtic, which I missed. I've never seen it. I will always be able to say I missed his first goal for the club. He could go on to be Larsson-esque for all we know, and I will always get to say I missed it. I was at the pisser when he scored his goal, and I just heard the Chase the Sun playing over the town. I went, oh, okay, there's me missed his first goal. Not very often I miss goals, and that's a couple now in this season. So I'm quite annoyed at myself for that. But good contributions late on in the game. good just to once again control a game and show how good we are. You know, we've just got such a strong side that it doesn't matter who you start. You're honestly in a lucky position, and that was reflective of the team that we played. On Saturday, you look at Hatate coming on, for example, with 20 minutes to go, and he has one of the best 20-minute spells that he'll probably ever have in his Celtic career. He was unbelievable. It's just crazy good. It's actually really hard to pick a man of the match when you think about Saturday's performance, because I thought everybody was singing from the same hymn sheet. We were hitting the high notes. We were looking really, really good everywhere. And I think there's so many players that deserve a shout. Dyson Maeda was fantastic. As well. I think he would probably just edge my man of the match nomination, or award I should say, but we were just really good, and I'm just loving this team. So we're through to the next round of the Scottish Cup. Good for us, fantastic. The draw is tonight. It's the quarterfinals, of course, so keep your eyes out on potentially what could happen. There is a couple of tasty ties that are potentially there for us. Darvel, of course, are the team to watch this evening. Could they make another upset happen? Can they knock out Falkirk? If so, is there a chance we take on Darvel in the next round of the Scottish Cup? We could play Rangers in the next round of the Scottish Cup. They made it through on questionable terms last night against Partick Thistle, and a couple of obviously Scottish Premiership teams in the round there. I think that, you know, a lot of us will just be hoping for the easiest tie, get us through to Hampden once more, and I'd be lying and saying that's not what I want. That's what I want. You know, I want that. That's that. I'll take an Ayr United. I'll take a Raith Rovers at Celtic Park. Something that, you know, gives us the best chance. No disrespect to them, but the best chances of going through to the next round. So, the draw will take place at apparently 5:30 tonight, which is before the game, which is unusual because usually it would be after the game. But it's 5:30 tonight. It will be on all of the Scottish Cup's social media outlets, their Twitter, their Facebook, etc, etc. So yeah, keep your eye out. 5:30. By the time this video is out, there's a very good chance the draw will be done. So just keep an eye out. Follow me on Twitter. You'll probably see my reaction on there as well. Will we avoid Rangers? We'll just have to wait and see. But there you go. Right, let's change up the topic then. Let's talk about money. Yes, we're going to do some money talk. Ironic, because I don't have a lot of money at the moment, but Celtic certainly do. So I feel like Martin Lewis here a wee bit. Let's go on to the money show. We're going to talk about Celtic's financial reports that they published on Friday night, which makes for some very impressive reading, some very good reading if you're obviously on top of all that stuff and you want to read about the club's business doings and how we're getting on there. Look, listen, I'll always say this, when it comes to the finances at the club and when it comes to business at the club, I'm more interested in the football side. This doesn't affect me. It doesn't affect the majority of us watching this. As long as the club are working within the realms of possibility and they aren't stretching the bank books to the extent where, you know, some clubs done a few years ago and landed them in a nasty position. Not pointing any fingers. As long as we're not doing that, I really don't care. As long as they're looking good, that's fine. The difference of, you know, £5-10 million, I don't see that £5-10 million. So it doesn't really bother me as much, but it's still good to read. And I must admit, the latest reports are very good reading. So the numbers were published for the end of the year there, the 31st of December 2022, which of course is the first half of the season. So this is the 6 month report from 6 months before the 31st of December 2022, which is posted a pre-tax profit of £33.9 million. So almost 34 million quid, which is a 44.8% rise on the same figure from the year prior. So from the end of 2021, we've seen almost 45% rise in pre-tax profits, which is unbelievable to say the least. We are being run very, very well. It's a hats off to obviously Michael Nicholson, who has been in the role of CEO now for the last, well, what is that, about a year and a half? You would say he's been in the CEO. I think maybe a year actually as permanent CEO, because remember he was just acting as CEO for a while, and then they made it a permanent appointment. And of course, this is the first sort of publication of financial results since the appointment of Peter Lawwell as chairman. Now, obviously, Peter Lawwell wouldn't have had an influence on Celtic's financial doings in this 6 month period because he wasn't in the role yet. It was still Ian Bankier, but this is the first time he's published these figures as chairman of the club. Money spent on players dropped from £16.8 million to £5.7 million, and profit from player sales also fell from £25.8 million to £1.8 million. Now, that's obviously just in the first 6 months of the season, so this isn't taking into account the sales of Josip Juranovic, Georgios Giakoumakis. We will get a further update come the end of the season on what it stands at, but for up until the 31st of December, that's what we're looking at, which is funny because, you know, money spent on players dropped from 16.8 to 5.7 million, which is funny considering, you know, what we get told in the media all the time about us spending more than everyone else, and we do, but I think people sometimes start to get carried away and act like we're Manchester City, which is obviously not the case. But some very good reading, and I'm sure if you're really into all of that, and you're in and well versed on the business side of things, you'll be happy to hear it. Peter Lawwell said in the statement alongside it that one of the key reasons for this financial performance was the Champions League group stages. Obviously that has helped us with making more money, and a big thanks to Ange Postecoglou and the squad that we've got right now. So yeah, we're looking good. No financial troubles coming our way anytime soon, I hope. And I'm going to end the video talking about Georgios Giakoumakis very, very briefly, because a lot of people were getting their knickers in a twist about his comments. And if you've not seen his comments, I'll explain in a moment. A lot of people getting their knickers in a twist about it. And I'm going to keep it brief because I don't care. We have moved on. He has moved on. I know he's the one that's brought up the league in a press conference, but can I just drill through something he's not wrong. He's not lying. And he's certainly not saying anything bad about his time at Celtic or Celtic in general. He's not. So if you were getting really pissed off from his comments, don't. I just don't. And you're allowed an opinion towards it, absolutely, but I wouldn't let it wind you up. It certainly didn't wind me up. If anything, I actually agree with him. So essentially, in his opening press conference for Atlanta United in the MLS, he made comments regarding the Scottish Premiership and saying how he believes the MLS is going to be a more competitive division to play in, because in Scotland, everybody outside Celtic and Rangers is playing 10 men behind the ball. The aim is to stop Celtic from scoring, and that's basically what we're facing every week. Is he lying? Is he wrong? No. He's not said anything about the quality of Scottish football. He's not said anything about the quality of Celtic's opposition. He's not said anything about the quality of the MLS being better. He said it's more competitive, which isn't wrong at all. It's not. He will have a far more competitive experience in the MLS than what he would have had playing for Celtic, domestically anyway. Maybe not on a continental level, but certainly when it comes to domestic football, it's got to be much different for him. It wasn't wrong in the slightest, but people are so quick to jump on his back and say that he's slagging off Scottish football. He's not. Opposition fans are giving him stick. Celtic fans are giving him stick. He's not said anything negative. He's just said that there's more competition. And I feel, do you know what? Even if he did come out and said that the quality's poor, I would have still backed him up. I still would have agreed with him. Because it is pretty poor at the minute. He wouldn't be lying. Like, and he said it in a pretty respectful way. Like, it's not as if he's came out and stuck his nose up at us. No, it was just open, honest. And he's been, very dignified in everything he said. So a lot of people getting wound up about it. I would say go and listen to it again. And that's the thing. When you live in a country like Scotland, when the media love to word things a certain way, what you're going to see is you're going to see headlines saying Georgios Giakoumakis destroys Scottish football. That's the kind of headline you're going to see. It's absolutely not what he's done. If you've not listened to it for yourself, go and find the press conference, go find the clip and listen to him speak, because it's honestly not that bad. And once again, he ain't wrong. That's the league we live in right now. Right, that does it. That's me for today. I'm going to wrap it up there. Keep in mind the Scottish Cup draw will be up shortly after this video, so come back tomorrow and we'll discuss that and everything else that's happening. Of course, we have no games midweek, so we'll try and get back in the podcast wagon this week. We'll try and get into talking about the weekend's game as soon as that approaches as well. But until then, I'll see you. Enjoy. Goodbye. Cheerio.